Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Gemstone Legends video. This is going to be part 2 of my favorite heroes. We did part 1. I meant to record it all in one video, and I did, but it ended up being very long. So at the request of some people, I figured I'd split some of these up into 2 parts so that it wouldn't be quite so much information to take in all at once. This video will be a little bit longer than the first one was because we're going to cover some honorable mentions as well. Couldn't just keep it to 10. There was a few that didn't make the top 10 list of my favorite heroes, but that I thought should still be mentioned if you're trying to figure out which of these heroes are ones that you want to focus on, etc. So the other thing that I want to mention is I'm going to be hosting a contest for Gemstone Legends. It's going to coincide with the guild race contest that will already be happening in the game starting on June 2nd. So there's going to be a couple community posts in the community section of my YouTube channel where you can get all this information. There will also be a video explaining some of the details as well. So be sure to go to those places so you can get all the relevant information. In the description of this video is a download link as well as a promo code that will help you be eligible for that contest. So click on the download link, download the game, play through the tutorial. Within 3 hours of downloading the game, after completing the tutorial, enter the code #Spock_contest hashtag. There's a little card on the screen that shows you what that code is right now as well. That'll give you a great starter bonus and will get you eligible for the contest, which will have cash prizes for the guild that gets the most points at the end of the period, and also some random drawings as well. So check out all that information, check out Gemstone Legends, and let's look at the rest of my list of favorite heroes. So continuing on for green, I think we're at number 6 on the list now, and that is going to be Alexander. I think this was the first or second legendary that I pulled, and wasn't super impressed by him at first. So let's look at his main special skill. Gains increased defense for 4 turns. Gains increased resistance, which is meaning you're less likely to be affected by statuses. Gains taunt for 4 turns. So the taunt is his key in addition to the increased defense. Looking at his passive, 25% chance to restore 10% HP whenever taking damage. So that's really nice. 20% less damage received if below 50%. So you can see that he is a survivor. And while Taunt is a bit weaker in Gemstone Legends versus Empires and Puzzles, it's better in other ways too. So the reason why it's weaker is because in Empires and Puzzles, if you have Taunt active, all AoE heroes will only hit the Taunt hero a single time. In this game, all AoE damage gets through. So you can only taunt special skills that affect one hero or all gemstone attacks. And that's where the benefit is. In Empires and Puzzles, because the way the tile matching system works, you just hit whoever's in front of those tiles, and taunt has nothing to do with that. In this game, you target, your gemstone attacks can only hit one hero, and you have to target that hero, and he automatically is targeted because of taunt. So the benefit there is that while all the opposing teammates may have 5 turns in a row, they all have to hit him, and his increased defense and this 25% chance to restore 10% HP whenever taking damage make him very tough. He's pretty essential for me against the yellow raid boss who only hits single targets, and he's a key component of my main raiding team because he can keep everyone else alive. So as long as you have some healers on there to keep him topped off and a couple damage dealers to make use of the time that he's buying you, you've got the basis of a really strong team. So you're going to want to boost his defense as much as possible, and you're also going to want to boost his HP because he has a 25% chance to restore 10% HP. So the higher his HP is, the higher that restoration is, and the longer he's going to stay alive. And it's really nice to see that you get hit for 1,500 damage, and then he heals for 2,200 or 2,500 or 4,000, whatever his HP is. So it's like a net positive, and your other weaker heroes weren't able to be attacked. So he took a while to grow on me, but he is an excellent hero in a lot of places in the game. Okay, next on our list is Guinevere. She is one of the heroes that you can obtain through fusions in the altar down there at the bottom. Basically, you level up the heroes that are required to the levels that are shown, and you basically unlock her for free, which is pretty awesome. So I created her with fusion. You can do the same. She is an excellent healer, restoring 22% of the target's max HP to all allies. This is one of the higher numbers for a full team healer in the game. Because the HP numbers are so much higher, you don't see as much of a heal, but that can still be boosted up to 25%. That's a significant investment, so I would not take that lightly, because those are going to cost legendary tomes, which are quite rare. And she also is going to grant a speed increase, which is really good, and remove a negative status. Her passive is to restore 4% HP to all allies the first time she takes damage from a special ability in a turn, and then removes one random positive status from an enemy whenever she deals damage with Gemstone. So there's a lot going on. She packs a big punch in terms of value. And then another key is she's a speed leader in the Rift. So she is my main Rift healer because that speed boost is significant. If you pair that with the blue dragon to decrease the speed of the enemies, they're almost not even getting a turn. So incredible hero. She was the second 6-star that I maxed because having a good healer is really important. She'll need to get some better equipment at some point. I just kind of worked with what I had early on, so that'll need to get upgraded, but she's totally worth investing in. She's got good mana gain. She's got really high speed to start, so she's just an all-around incredible hero and definitely worth fusing. I think you have a chance to summon her as well, but I'd recommend getting started on that fusion as soon as possible. Check out the video in the description of this video talking about that fusion process. Next up is Sophia, who I have but have not really gotten started with yet. The video that I keep mentioning again and again is what heroes you should ascend when, and for that reason I'm holding off on her because I don't really need a red hero at the moment, but she's a favorite with a lot of people. She's a defense leader everywhere. Her special skill is to boost her own defense for 3 turns, inflict decreased defense on a single enemy, and then hit them. So that order of operations is really key, where she's boosting her defense, lowering your defense if her accuracy is good enough, and then dealing damage based on her increased defense after that. So a really cool combination. And then her passive, 75% chance to inflict decreased defense on all enemies for 3 turns whenever she kills an enemy, immune to decreased defense. So a lot going on. That's a pretty high chance to give defense down to all if you can get a kill. And in this game, more so than Empires and Puzzles maybe, at least in terms of the strategy I'm developing, it's really about killing certain key heroes first. And so she can be really helpful in doing that. And then also, if she gives this decreased defense to everyone else, that's increasing the power of all the other heroes on your team, and that can be boosted to 100% chance, which is pretty awesome. And then this skill can be boosted to significantly higher damage, and that's all that's changing. So probably not the best investment here. You don't get to choose whether you're leveling up the special ability or the passive ability. And then she's also a defense leader, which allows her to boost her own power, basically how hard she's going to hit in the arena. So I don't have a lot of experience with her yet, but she is a hero that I keep hearing good things about. And if you look in the arena at the top ranking, you'll often find her on a lot of teams. I'm not seeing, so there's one. Oh, there were a bunch more the other day. There's 2 on one team there, 2 on another team, another one. So yeah, she's a pretty key hero and seems to be a top hero in the game. So I just want to reiterate that these are not necessarily in order. This is just a list of 10, but not, 1 through 10, with 10 being the worst and 1 being the best. But next is sort of a class of hero that I happen to have 2 heroes from, and that is the Aurora / Gaffadeth. So we'll look at Aurora, and what she's doing is grants protective shield based on 25% of target's max HP to all allies for 4 turns, and increased attack. So she's kind of functioning as a healer. 25% would be a very strong healer, especially with an attack buff. But the way this works is the protective shield is a buff in and of itself. It's not like adding more, temporary HP like we've seen in Empires and Puzzles. It is a buff that will last for 4 turns, and then it will disappear, and it can be dispelled or removed. And then the attack increase, and then if below 40% HP, adds increased defense to her special ability. If below 20, adds fortify to her special ability. And I think fortify is an increase against special skills in particular. And then immune to curse, which means she's not going to lose. Curse removes positive statuses from you. So then Gaffadeth is doing a similar thing here, which is grants increased attack to all allies, grants protective shield for 20% instead of 25%, but this can be boosted up to 25%. And then her passive is 25% less damage received if affected by Mana Breath status, immune to heal block. So definitely not as good as Aurora, but a pretty good imitation. I was going to say imitator, a pretty good imitation. Being immune to heal block is pretty nice. Mana Breath seems a little bit niche, but I guess it speaks to certain synergies that she can have, because taking 25% less damage is pretty powerful. But there's this family of heroes that all do something similar. Like, she is also in this family, grants increased defense instead of attack, and then also protective shield. But yeah, that's another style of hero I want to put in this list, and my blues are pretty strong, and I use Aurora a lot. That increased attack is really nice, and then having 25% extra HP. All right, the last hero that I want to mention, who I don't think is on everyone's radar yet, but I've seen, kind of seems like if you know, you know. I've not fully built mine yet, but it is Torbjorn. And from what I understand, he has the strongest hit in the entire game. And you can see that, like Sophia, he's dealing damage based on his max HP. So let's do a quick comparison. He's doing 37%, and his base HP is 11,400. Sophia is 11,200, and she's doing... Oh no, she's based on defense. That was my mistake. Maybe Ultan is a good comparison. At 5 stars, he's down to 9,000, so pretty low. And then his damage is 18% of caster's max HP. It's true that he's hitting everyone, but point is, Torbjorn packs a significant punch, and he is showing up in a lot more teams, and he can be the main damage dealer on a raid boss team. So if you have one, I didn't think much of him at first. He was one of the first heroes that I pulled, but he is an increasingly popular one, and I think we're going to see that popularity grow even more as more people realize how strong he is. And just the other day, I was looking in the arena and saw multiple teams with him. So there's one, here's another one. So I think people are starting to realize more of his power. And I saw another team that I was hoping to see here again that had 2 Torbjorns at level 60. So here's another one. So pretty common in the arena for being an epic hero. But he's definitely worth building out. He'll be, after I get my Goliath Rift team finished, he'll be part of my Phoenix Rift team, and then I'll be justified in ascending him to 6 stars. But he's a popular one for a lot of people, and for good reason. So the other part of his special is just hitting hard there. And then resistance is increased by 100% when at 100% HP, and immune to stun. So nothing that's too impactful. Increased resistance can be helpful, but it's not anything incredible. So he's just really a very hard hitter. His mana gain and speed are on the lower side. So with a mana gain of 19, you're going to need 6 tiles or 6 gemstones to charge him, and he doesn't have sometimes these passive abilities as you get to the bottom will say mana gain increased by 1 or 2, and he doesn't have any of that. So his damage can also be boosted pretty significantly, and I think it's not too hard to do that because he is an epic hero. You just need to feed some family members that you weren't using. All right, that was my list of my 10, I don't know if I would say favorite heroes or 10 strongest heroes. I think 10 heroes that are very worthy of consideration and are very good heroes in the game. I don't know if I could say favorites yet. This list will probably change as time goes on and I learn more, but I feel very confident in these recommendations right now. And I want to give 3 honorable mentions there, one of which is Zane. He's hitting a single target, if I remember correctly, yes. And so first he's gaining increased critical chance and increased critical damage for 4 turns. Then he's dealing damage, so that can yield some pretty high damage based on the order of it. And then this is a key. Deals 35% more damage to targets with no positive statuses, recovers 50% HP when he kills an enemy. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. And then one of the keys for Zane is he is a speed leader. I don't know what constitutes guild-related battles, so if you do, please let us know in the comments down below. But Zane is a really popular hero for a lot of reasons, especially on raid boss teams as the leader, just as a way to get that speed boost. So the next one I want to mention is Guinevere, I'm assuming is how you say that. And he's got some really cool stuff going on. I like the unique heroes that have interesting twists to them that you can then increase the chances of. So he's dealing damage to a single enemy based on attack and ignoring 40% defense. So it's kind of like every hero he hits gets minus 40% defense before he's hitting, which is pretty incredible. And then he gains increased speed. The ignores defense number can't rise, but you can add 50% to his attack and 2 turns to his speed. And then this is the cool part. 30% chance to use his special ability twice if the first use deals critical damage. Crit damage is increased by 10 for every 40 speed. So the key with him, and this is something I haven't reflected well in the current build that I have for him that I will be improving upon, is to make his crit rate as close to 100% as possible, because that means you're always going to be doing critical hit damage, so that means you're always going to have a little bit less than a 1/3 chance for him to do his ability twice. And when you max him, he can do some pretty big damage. So he's an awesome hero. There is an element of chance to him, but you can increase the likelihood of that in the way that you build him, and that's just one of the things about this game that I find to be really cool. Let's see if I can remember what my last hero was. It was going to be Octavia, that's right. So she's another really cool hero. Really good mana gain, great speed. She's a speed leader in the arena, similar to Zane. So 100% chance to inflict Assassin's Mark for 1 turn twice. So you would have 2 instances of Assassin's Mark on the person you're attacking. Deals damage to a single enemy, so pretty low attack based on what we've seen for some of these other ones. But then she detonates Assassin's Marks immediately. So Assassin's Mark is an ailment that, let's double check, I'm pretty sure removes 10% of HP no matter what. It's going to be down here. Forget what it looks like. There we go. Explodes on hit and deals damage based on 15% of target's HP. So if she lands both of those hits, you're doing 30% of the target's HP in addition to the actual damage that she's dealing with her special skill, which is pretty awesome. But the really cool part is usually in how the passive combines with the special ability. Restores 100 mana whenever she kills an enemy, speed increased by 20. So if you can get the final kill, then you get to hit again immediately. So you get to use her twice. So it's kind of like Guinevere, where you get 2 chances to use your special ability under certain circumstances. With this, you just want to make sure that she's going to kill. And Assassin's Mark is a pretty reliable way of knowing how much damage you're going to do, because it is just true damage or pure damage, where it's not based on the defense stat. It just takes all that damage out. So if her accuracy is pretty high and her speed is good, she's going to be doing a lot of damage. And if you pair her with some area of effect heroes and she's hitting after that, then you have the chance to kill multiple heroes in one turn for her. So she's really cool. This is the favorite hero of one of the people, or one of the favorites of one of the people in my alliance. His second strongest hero, second to Torbjorn that we've talked about. So a couple epics that can outclass legendaries in certain cases. And I wanted to cover those at the end. They're not on my main list yet, but they were totally worth mentioning. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. It's a great free way for you to help support the channel and show your appreciation, and it's something that I appreciate very much. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have any other heroes that you think should be on this list that weren't, definitely let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. So that about covers it. Let me know if you have any heroes that you think should have been on this list that weren't. I think there's a lot for me to learn about the game still, and there's probably some people who have slipped under my radar, but I think this covers a lot of what the conventional wisdom in the game determines to be some of the better heroes. So check out Gemstone Legends. Again, that download link and promo code in the description, as well as the contest, where we will be giving away up to $3,000 in cash prizes, depending on how many people join the contest. So if you're interested, make sure you do that as well. Check out the community section of my YouTube channel, where you can find a couple posts explaining this information, as well as a video, and I'll probably put links to those things in the description of this video as well to make them easy to find. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. It's a great free way to support the channel, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.